Good morning. It is Wednesday, October 13th, 2021. I'm back here for Daily Shakeup 403. Today, we're going to talk about listening. In particular, I want to just lay out four basic levels of listening. And I just want you to think about each one of them and where do you fit in that? So the bottom level, which I would argue maybe isn't listening at all, but we're going to put it on the spectrum. And that is, you're basically a talker. You consume the space. You're most likely to fill up the space and do the most talking. And frankly, you're not listening very often. You do, but you really, if you are listening, you're listening to respond and you're listening to figure out what to say and how to say it and all those things. So let's just call that fringe listening, but you pretty much suck at listening. So the next level up, we'll call this going down here. Level 4 is no listening. Level 3 is you generally listen more than you talk. You know, if you sit and if someone observed the circle, they would see you most of the time listening and not talking a lot. Now, there could be a lot of reasons for that. It could be that you're shy. It could be that it's a choice. It could be that you're introverted. A lot of reasons, but basically you're a listener. You do listen more than you talk. So let's call that the base level of listening, but just barely. Now, the next level of listening, and a lot of people talk about it, different ways to use it. Let's call it active listening, because there are people that teach this and there's books on it. Active listening, and there's a lot more to it, but you're really committed to listening, and you're really you're focused on the other person most of the time. So active means it's very intentional and you're actively engaged in listening, versus the level below it, level 3, is really reactive listening. So for example, some people I know, and you probably know them, maybe you are that person, you're not talking, so you're sort of listening, but you're mostly distracted. You're not there, you're on your phone, but you're quiet, you're listening to some degree. But no, active listening, you're intended to, you're committed to it, you're engaged in a process of listening. But that's still level 2, because I would say level 1 is full presence listening. This is when you're really there for that person. You are committed to them. You've continued to remove thoughts from your mind. When they come in, you let them go or you write them down. So you can really listen. You're not listening to respond. You're in the present moment with your listening. That to me is the holy grail of listening. And to me, that is leadership listening. All the other levels are some degree of listening, but full presence listening is the stuff of leadership, because this is when people feel seen, feel heard, feel valued. Because when you are fully present and listening to someone, they feel like the most important person in the world. And isn't that what the experience we want our team members and the people around us and our relationships to have with us? So I would call it full presence listening, or let's just simplify it to leadership listening. That's it for today. Keep taking care of yourself and everyone around you. By all means, stay connected.